So, little introduction, who is IBL. We work for several universities, mostly in higher education, in the US, overseas, and in Spain. And maybe you heard something about the meetups that we are organizing in New York. You can enroll. The next one is going to be September the 1st. So if you want to talk, if you want to come. And also we are organizing the meetups in Spain. We're running open edX related news. We broke several news in the last months. And we have deployed several platforms. And also we do curriculum design, course design. And I want to talk today about education marketing. What is that? So we all know that there are several ways to use open edX for professional purposes, e-commerce, blended learning, innovation, many different type of uses. But we think that open edX is an excellent marketing platform. Say, well, it's not, it was an educational platform, yeah, as well as a marketing platform. We all know all these cases from MongoDB, McKinsey Academy, and certainly we have taken many courses at edX.org from Microsoft and Linux Foundation and others, courses to attract prospects and enrollments. And we truly think that a well-produced course is an efficient educational and marketing tool. A course, naturally, is lead generation. It can raise the brand awareness. It improves the long-term cost per click, even if you are competing to type of AdWords investment, and certainly it gives back to the community. We have several cases in higher education, Harvard University, the CS50, Columbia University fundraising, getting a lot of fundraising, and several examples in the industry. We have another example in philanthropy, and here is Bob from Extension Engine that gave us some help here. So this is an initiative based on creating a freshman year for free, several courses, self-paced courses on history, literature, business, and sciences. So we truly think that every organization needs to have in place an educational strategy to educate its audience, workforce, contribute back to the community, and Open edX is certainly the most prepared educational platform. There is content marketing, inbound marketing, experiential marketing, and now we want to introduce this concept, education marketing. We think that Open edX is uniquely prepared for marketing. So far, MOOCs has been vehicles for branding, lead generation, and peer advertising. And MOOCs has been released by many universities and educational organizations following this marketing purpose, but as well as a lot of user interfaces, truly marketing oriented. We have developed some of them in different cases in the US and overseas. And we think that right now MOOCs are going into this direction. Courses are going to be mostly for credit, cash generating, and certainly marketing oriented learning experiences. So we want to pioneer, as I said, this concept. We think that courses should be designed in a different way, marketing-oriented courses, certainly less professor-centric and more audience-sensitive, focused on learning experiences, and not so much on institutional learning. Certainly we need to do a better job when creating models, shorter courses, faster courses, and certainly using batches. And this is it. So I have 1 minute for questions. Thank you. Any question? No question?
How do you measure the effectiveness of marketing courses?
Well, certainly we are using extensively insights analytics, but each organization, when they set the marketing goals, that's where you set that kind of measure. For some of them, for most of them, this is about raising the brand awareness, and for others, it's just about getting a lot of leads. For others, they are saying that it could be, as long as you produce a massive course, you can beat Google AdWords, and because depending on industries, a cost per click can go until $40. And let's say that you produce a course and you invest 10,000, and you get I don't know, 2,000 leads. Well, that's a cost per click. It can be really, really high. And the advantage is, of course, is a long-term investment. So in terms of cost per click, also, but each organization sets their own marketing priorities. So there is no straightforward. What is important is to truly create engaging courses, investing as less money as possible.
Good.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Mike Bifulco, and like any good Mike, I only present in my second language. Así que vamos a hablar en español solamente. Today I'm here to talk about Open EDX Slack and Intercom integration. This is a strategy we use at Gymnasium, is the MOOC that I run. It's a free online set of courses for designers and developers to learn design and development skills. So this is a screenshot of Gymnasium. At Gymnasium, again, this is our Open EDX install. It looks a little different from other EDX installs. But on the right-hand side of the page, you'll see that we use a tool called Intercom for communicating with our students. So we're able to fire off events using Intercom, which is a JavaScript plugin that are context sensitive, so we can send students messages based on when they register, certain grading events like when they've completed a course and whatnot. Also, in this case, we were having a live event, and we messaged all students who might be interested in that live event. So Intercom allows us to do that. It also allows us to field questions when students are having technical support problems, which we like to funnel into Intercom rather than doing that on the discussion forums, because this way we can save responses and do lots of the nice things that Intercom allows us to do. So you might have seen some of these screenshots before at this conference. Actually, yesterday, Nate Ani from AppSembler showed them. So we get some instantaneous feedback from messages we send to broad audiences. So you can see here that we have analytics on how many we sent, how many were open, click-through rates, and things like that. This is for sort of broad distributions. In addition to that, we can provide individual support through the chat interface that I was just shown there. So this is a message from a student who was having trouble with their account being activated. We have a support team that is able to respond in sort of live, like casual chat conversation, which as it works out tends to be a lot more functional for students. They sort of like the personal, the notion of having a personal conversation. And you can see in this conversation sort of 2/3 of the way down, it's a little dim and maybe a little difficult to see, but Peter, our support guy, actually assigned it to an escalation team that we have, where when we're unable to have our first tier of people solve the problem, they send it to escalation, which in this case is me and Andrew. But we can solve problems that way, right? And so this gives us a nice proportioned funnel for how to get people through the problems that they may have. We also use Intercom for some of the analytical things they do for tracking students' progress through courses and collecting information on demographics. So we were actually in Europe a few weeks ago in one of our offices there in London. We sent a message to all of our students through Intercom who were in London saying the next day we're having a live event, come pop by the office, we'll have beer and coffee and whatever, and we're talking about design. And actually we sent a message to maybe 70 people and we had 2 or 3 show up. So that's pretty good for like actually meeting someone in real life from the internet, which I might not always suggest. But yeah, so that's our escalation manner there. We also use Slack, which I'd imagine most of you guys have seen. This is a screenshot of our Gymnasium Slack. You can see our Gym Help channel there. That's where it's sort of one of our escalation paths. When our help staff needs help solving a problem, but they don't think it's something that's quite fully escalatable, they'll ask us questions here and we help them get through the problems. In this case, there's just a couple of examples of sort of non-consequential types of things, but this is just showing that this is how we connect the two. So Intercom and Slack are connected in that way. What we started experimenting with recently was how to make these a little bit better. So we were trying to figure out what the next thing is and how to connect these in a way that made our workflow a little better for us so that we don't have to escalate as often to Andrew and myself, but also for our help staff to be a little more self-serviced. So we were trying to figure out what's next. What's the next thing to connect Slack and Intercom and EDX? And as it turns out, it's bots, just like everything else. Bots for everything. So we found BotKit from Howdy, which many of you, or some of you may have seen. It's an open source kit for building bots for Slack. It's JavaScript, it's Node and delicious and super easy to build. This is some of their documentation. And this is a demo of a BotKit app that I started building a couple weeks ago. Basically, what it allows you to do is have a natural language conversation with a bot that gets you information on certain things. So you can say, in this case, this is just a demo of how many users do we have. We have 72 users. But you can see how that's extensible to other things, like some of the questions that are asked there. The possibilities are endless, right? You can ask all sorts of things. Conveniently enough, Ned is in the room, so this is handy enough for him. We can see how Ned did on one of our exams here. You could ask any sort of thing, and you could basically build a grammar to respond to these questions. You can even ask what the meaning of life is, although we may not have a good answer for that. So this is something that I'm building currently. It's a personal pet project. I work on it every week. Tuesday afternoons, I do a live coding on livecoding.tv where I work on this project. If it's something you're interested in, send me an email. And if you want to see me live code and torture me while I'm writing code in real life, you can go to livecoding.tv/mbyfolco, and 1:30 to 3 o'clock every Tuesday afternoon I'm coding.
So speaking about bots, right. I'm Sergi from Raccoon Gen, and we do periodically raccoonathons, which means like hackathon, but it's an internal. And one of such events ended up with a chat bot for OpenEDX. So why we think it's important? Because in a modern world, everyone is talking to its devices, not to real people, and pay attention to anything is really hard. So we decided maybe we can distract people from their distractions via some e-learning materials. How it is used? We choose to use Telegram as a medium because Telegram, well, is a best messenger ever. I will tell you why. Then we created it, so using it is really simple. You just add the bot to your device or to desktop Telegram and follow its instructions. Let's try it. So what we have a it's an OpenEDX. I've just came to my profile. This is my enrolled courses, whatever I have. In my profile, I just authorize the bot, which sends me a link to the app. Let us start, yeah. I allow it to start because any bot needs allowance from its user to start. Then, well, I can chat with him like with a real somebody. The thing is that it doesn't understand much words, so we can ask him for help. We have several commands, and for example, we can list all courses of that edX instance, and there are plenty of them. The thing is that it's our sandbox environment. Everyone comes to play with OpenEDX, creating its own course. Okay, so we check the information about the course. We have the description. It comes from OpenEDX, and well, I think I like it. I want to enroll. With it, I get a link to a real bot, which can, well, not every course can be played via bot. So only those courses via like bot friendly comes with a link. The rest are just, you can enroll or de-enroll from them. Okay, start another bot. And let's say something again. He will provide you some clue on how to talk with it. And yeah, I'm now doing a course in OpenEDX via a Telegram chat. it's an interesting course. I can describe a bit later on how it is really created. It's a knowledge graph. You can go in circles in there. So if I don't feel like I know the answer, I can ask for some unit of learning. If I think I know the answer, I get options to choose from. I do. And it says that, yeah, I'm good. And here comes the other unit. And the progress of my going through bot goes to OpenEDX, and I can see it there. So that's enough for the demo. Let's finish our presentation. That's all. Yeah, sure.
Are you planning to connect the chatbot to the analytics as well? If I would like to ask, like, as a course instructor, not as a course
yeah,
student.
the thing is,
Like,
yeah, from OpenEDX point of view, OpenEDX thinks that students just do the course. So bot do the course instead of a student, so analytics gets all the events. So once you see that event or unit of learning, analytics gets it. Once you view the video, analytics gets it, and so on.
No, I was asking more about, as an instructor, to chat with OpenEDX. Like, how many students complete this unit?
It's possible. Well, not yet implemented. If you want it, we can do it.
Do you think it's a good idea, or do you?
Yeah, why not? Instructors are also busy people, so why not?
Do you have students who are really taking full courses this way?
The thing is that it was only developed. The only course we have, it's a course about raccoons. So yeah, we have such students, but I doubt it's anything to talk about.
Okay, cool, very nice.
Well, hi everyone. I'm Juan from EduNext, and what I want to present to you today is an XBlock we just developed that's called Flow Control, which is basically a multi-unit conditional XBlock. So let's see that. What we're doing here is we are adding this XBlock in a particular unit, and what the XBlock does is it evaluates a redirect condition at the beginning, and depending on the condition, it goes one way or the other. The condition is normally based on the scores the student has had in a particular problem or in a set of problems, being in that subsection or in any other subsection. So if the condition is not met, what the XBlock will do is it will just display the contents of the unit, as it would have done normally if the XBlock wasn't there. And if the condition is met, the XBlock is configured to follow one of different possible actions. One of the actions would be to display an HTML content. The other possible action would be to switch to another unit that's in the sequence, or to switch to any other unit in the course, or even to any URL. Just make a redirection. So let's see this working live. What we have here, you're probably very familiar with this, is a learning sequence. This one is just like a normal unit that has one particular question on it. So if I succeed on the questions, and all the other units have the flow control XBlock on them configured, with a particular condition as is the student has failed the question. So if I don't fail the question, if I get the question right, in this case we're talking Indonesia, then, oops, sorry. Let me just recharge. So if I go Indonesia, then if I got the question right, the condition is not met, so I will just see the content of the units, unit 2, unit 3, unit 4, the normal content of the unit. But if the condition is met, so I fail the question in this case, then what will happen, for example, in this case is it will show me a specific message, HTML message designed to be shown in the case that the condition is met. In this case, I will be redirected to a particular unit, and in this case, I will be redirected to another unit in another subsection. Okay, so let me show you how this works from the studio standpoint, from the studio point of view. So what I have here is like the normal advanced component I will add, and the configuration of the component is very simple. We work a lot on the user interface for this. So I choose my condition. I can have grade on a certain problems or on a list of problems. And of course, the problem ID or the list of problems ID in case I choose several problems. And then I tell it what kind of operator I want, equal, greater than, this thing, lesser than, etc. And what number I'm going to compare the score with. So I can have a threshold or something like that. And then the action. If I wanted to show a message, then I will write the message here in this nice inline editor, or I can have redirection to a particular tab in the same section just by naming the tab here, tab 1, 2, 3, 4. Or I can have redirection to a specific ID, unit ID anywhere else in the course, or a particular URL. So this is basically it. I want to show some of the use cases we have thought about for this one. You can use it, for example, to let the user continue to the sequence only when he has gotten the answer right, or maybe skip an extra section. It's not necessary if the user already has the answer right, or maybe to display feedback based on the scores that the user had for the problems or set of problems. Remember, we can do that for one problem or for a set of problems. What's coming next, we have thought about using also the conditions, not only for the scores, but also for the submission only. If the user submitted the problem, then I will apply the action. Or maybe based on polls. In that case, that would somehow have the same functionality as the conditional module that we already have via OLX. And also we have thought about conditions based on content visualization, or maybe having more than one condition. And also in the actions side of it, we can have sequences of action. Or we're thinking about sequences of action, like showing a message and then after a few seconds redirecting. And all your ideas are welcome to continue this work forward. So you can get it on GitHub, you can check it out, or just contact us if you're interested. Thanks.
We have more time. Good question.
All right.
Are you able to, so actually two questions, I guess. Does the flow control XBlock work across subsections?
Yeah, sure.
And are you able to trigger something on, so like I saw you're able to use it conditionally based on the grades of a problem. Can you automatically trigger an event when the problem is graded, or does it not work in that way?
No, it's not. It doesn't work in that way yet.
Okay.
It's supposed to be for problems that are already graded.
Okay.
All right.
It's very cool.
All right, yeah. Thanks. It's available. Just get in there and
Sure.
drop us a line. Thanks.
Seems for OpenEDX, as everyone might know, it's hard. And many smaller customers or university professors cannot afford hiring a designer and a developer and the rest of the team to actually skin their particular course or the particular instance. So what we've decided to do, we want to make SEMEN for OpenEDX as easy as a piece of cake. Now it's like a bit not, let's say, a big piece of cake, but we are trying on reducing it. What we decided to do, we decided to first come up with an automated script to apply a theme, and with a library of themes to choose from. We've created a theme store where you, right now it's only 3 themes, but we will make it more, or maybe we will somehow market it to designers, and designers will do the job for us. And how it works, you have your installation, you download our files which we provide to you, upload them to your instance, run simple command, and you get your instance renewal. From our side, it works like we have a custom EDX instance with microsites for each theme, so customers or users or whatever can demo it, play with real courseware to see how it fits to their use case. Then they might download it and get the guide to install it. The guide is as follows. You get the file, you put it on your server, and you run this SSH command. Surely you have to trust us, because it's a running shell command. And I also have some nice prints. I can give it out to those who ask questions. Yeah.
Are you using Stanford theming?
No, it's comprehensive SEMEN. That's yours. Anyone else?
How
No?
many themes are you aiming to have?
I would have unlimited number of themes, because the real issue is to create a community of maybe designers who can sell those themes, for example, for not like for 2,000, but for 100, and SEMEN EDX for 100 is a real thing.
Can you add faculties? That kind of groups on those themes?
The thing is that it's not up to us to add faculties, but if the OpenEDX instance where you want to theme your faculty supports microsites, yeah, you can theme each faculty.
That was the goal. Thank you.
I was wondering is there a typo on the site because the site is not.
Come again?
The site on the bottom.
Themes, Raccoon Gang, yeah. Anyway, that was a question.
I appreciate it.
Only 4 left. No?
I have 4 more questions.
Okay. Okay, thank you for attention.